If you are a man, take a long pause and listen carefully. Cheating doesn't start in the bedroom. It starts in the shadows. It starts with tiny cracks she thinks you'll never notice. By the time most men wake up, the damage is already done. That's why I'm giving you 7 small behaviors that add up to betrayal. They look harmless, but they're the quiet foundations of cheating. You'll recognize number 3 instantly. I'm Jane, and on this channel, I don't sugarcoat. I empower men to see the truth in relationships and to act with clarity, not confusion. So if you're tired of games, hit subscribe and drop a comment, because your story may help another man wake up too. Let's expose the first one. Sign number 1. The private world on her phone. A woman who suddenly guards her phone like it holds nuclear codes is showing you something. She's hiding. When she tilts the screen away, takes it to the bathroom, or puts it face down every time she sets it down, that's not casual. That's a mask. Women know this is one of the easiest ways to hide growing connections with another man. It starts with texting, little comments, DMs, innocent conversations. But secrecy is the seed. What looks like a locked phone is really a locked door in your relationship. I've seen this 100 times. She'll tell you you're paranoid. She'll say, everyone needs privacy.
No.
There's a difference between privacy and secrecy. Privacy respects the relationship. Secrecy poisons it. If her phone is suddenly a guarded fortress, you're not being respected. Pay attention to this. Sign number 2. The emotional withdrawals. Cheating doesn't always start with sex. It starts with emotion. When a woman begins investing her heart somewhere else, she has to withdraw it from you. Suddenly, she's less affectionate. Conversations are shorter. Eye contact fades. The warmth is gone. This isn't random mood swings. It's a shift in emotional energy. She's redirecting her attention. And trust me, women know when they're doing this. They'll play it off as stress or being tired. But the truth is simple. When her heart is elsewhere, her body is next. Here's the brutal truth. Emotional distance is usually the first affair. Men, stop explaining it away. Stop excusing it. That change in tone, that lack of interest is not just a phase. It's a warning. Pay attention to this. Sign number 3. The he's just a friend defense. This is the one most men recognize too late. The moment you question a male friend who's suddenly always around, she throws the line, he's just a friend. Understand something. When women say this defensively, it's almost always more than friendship. Women know how that line disarms men. They know most men back down, afraid of sounding jealous or insecure. But what you're really doing is ignoring the obvious. If she spends more energy explaining why you shouldn't be suspicious than actually showing respect for your feelings, that's not innocence. That's deflection. I've seen it too many times. The friend becomes the replacement. Men, hear me clearly. A woman who truly values you will not maintain close emotional intimacy with another man in secret. She won't defend him harder than she respects you. If she does, you already have your answer. Pay attention to this. We're not done. The next 4 signs expose the subtle patterns most men overlook until it's too late. You'll see how her words, her time, and even her attitude toward you begin to shift. And number 5? That one hits like a hammer. Stay locked in. This is your early warning system. Sign number 4. The new outing pattern. Pay attention when her social calendar suddenly explodes. Out of nowhere, she's always going out. Always with the girls. Always dressed like she's single again. Listen to me. Women don't transform their lifestyle without a reason. The sudden excitement to be out late, to dress up in ways she hasn't for you, to chase attention, that's not harmless fun. That's a signal. Here's the inside truth women don't admit. Girls' night is often the perfect cover. She knows you won't question it too hard. She knows it sounds innocent. But if she comes home later and later, if she's energized by being out but drained when she's with you, her loyalty is already shifting. I've seen this too many times. The club outfit, the extra time getting ready, the new perfume, those changes aren't for you. They're to attract and be noticed elsewhere. And if you dare question it, she'll flip the script. Why are you controlling? Don't you trust me? That's manipulation, not love. Real love doesn't need constant external validation. If she's building a new social identity that excludes you, that's not independence. That's disconnection. Pay attention to this. Sign number 5, the irritation at accountability. This one is subtle, but deadly. A woman who has nothing to hide has no problem being transparent. But once cheating thoughts or actions creep in, accountability becomes a threat. Suddenly, your questions annoy her. Why do you care? You're too nosy. You're suffocating me. That irritation isn't about your questions. It's about her guilt. I've seen men fooled here. They back off, thinking, maybe I'm being controlling.
No.
You're not controlling for expecting respect and honesty in a relationship. What she's really doing is projecting. She's angry because your questions get too close to the truth. Women in love don't resent being accountable. They welcome it because it's part of connection. When she starts acting like basic respect is a burden, understand this. She's already crossed lines in her mind, maybe in her actions. Men, this is one of the clearest warning signs. When her tone changes from warmth to defensiveness every time you bring up where she's been, who she's talking to, or why she's distant, she's not protecting herself. She's protecting her secret. Pay attention to this. Now, let me be direct. You don't need to wait until betrayal slaps you in the face to see what's happening. These little patterns, girls' nights that don't feel right, sudden irritation at basic questions, are not accidents. They're choices. And here's the truth no one tells you. A woman who respects you won't even let these behaviors take root. She won't flirt with secrecy because she values your peace more than attention. She won't get defensive about transparency because she has nothing to hide. Men, hear me. Stop begging for clarity. Stop doubting your instincts. These signs are not paranoia, they're evidence. The only question is whether you'll act when you see them. If you've been nodding while listening, it's because you've seen these patterns before. They're not random. They're deliberate. And now we're down to the last 2. These are the signs most men dismiss as mood swings, but in reality, they're the clearest confessions of all. Sign number 6, the disrespect in her tone. Cheating doesn't always show up in what she does. It shows up in how she speaks to you. A woman who once spoke with warmth now cuts you down. Every little thing turns into sarcasm. She nitpicks. She rolls her eyes. She suddenly can't stand the way you breathe. This isn't just stress. It's contempt. And contempt is the cancer of relationships.
Why?
Because respect is gone. And when respect leaves, loyalty isn't far behind. Here's the raw truth. Women cheat emotionally long before they cheat physically. And when that emotional shift happens, her tone exposes it. The same man she used to admire becomes the man she now resents. That's not just irritation. It's her way of justifying betrayal in her own mind. I've seen this 100 times. She tells herself, he's not the man I need. He doesn't get me. She builds her excuses before she builds her escape. And the first tool she uses is her tone. Men, don't ignore this. A woman who loves and respects you will not weaponize her words against you. If her language is dripping with disdain, that's not love. That's the sound of loyalty cracking. Pay attention to this. Sign number 7, the sudden reinvention. This is the final mask. When a woman is preparing to cheat, or already has, she reinvents herself. It could be new clothes, new hobbies, new routines. She's suddenly someone else, and the key is this: you're not invited into the new version. At first, it might look like self-improvement. A new gym schedule, a new hairstyle, a new obsession with her appearance. But here's the insider truth. Women don't transform in isolation unless they're already envisioning life without you. She's building a new identity, one that feels less connected to you and more aligned with someone else, or at least the freedom to explore it. The danger here is that most men clap for it. They think, she's just bettering herself. But you feel the difference. You feel the distance. You sense you're no longer part of her vision. This reinvention is the final stage before a physical betrayal or the emotional exit. When she's changing everything about herself but leaving you behind, she's telling you without words, I'm already halfway gone. Pay attention to this. Now, men, hear me clearly. These 7 signs are not coincidences. They're patterns. They're choices. And if you keep excusing them, you're handing away your power. You don't need to wait for evidence in the bedroom to call it what it is. The truth is written in her behavior long before it's written in her body. And this is where empowerment comes in. Don't beg. Don't chase. Don't lose yourself trying to convince someone to respect you. Real love doesn't hide, doesn't deflect, doesn't demand that you silence your instincts. You deserve clarity. You deserve loyalty. You deserve respect. If you're not getting that, the answer is simple. You stop tolerating it. Men, comment below. Which of these signs have you seen firsthand? And did you ignore them? Or did you act? I want to hear your story, because every man who speaks up helps another man wake up.